Hi, this is Sarah. I'm interviewing my good friend Renee.
Hello.
We're going to be talking about mental defects in children, impairments in children, and just having a little dialogue about the children. Renee has 4 kids, 3 girls, 1 boy, ages 13, 11, 5, and 2. I have one 5-year-old. So we're just gonna, just have a quick little dialogue. We're gonna ask some questions, and hopefully we get a good response. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm tired, but anyway. This is interview 1 because the first interview with Victor was not able to be uploaded. I don't know what happened. I can probably play it for you if you want me to, but as of right now, I have no way of giving it to you unless I actually save it on a flash drive and actually give it to you in your hand. So I'm doing the whole interview again, just so you know I didn't, I didn't do for more time. I can actually show it to you and everything, whatever have you. If you want, we could do that. But okay, back to the interview. Now, I'm going to ask the same questions I asked Victor. I'm not going to, also offer my questions, but I did add some other questions to tailor towards Renee because she does have more children with Victor and she does have more experience than Victor. All right, so I asked what's the difference between breastfeeding and formula. I know that I took just one breastfeeding class when I was pregnant with my son, and it was supposed to be, honestly, I didn't really remember everything they said because I actually kind of dried up, and I totally forgot everything they taught me in class. I don't know how I did that, but I forgot everything they taught me. But I do know it's better. So I'm going to ask Renee, who has 4 kids and breastfed all 4 of them, why is it better, and does she think it's better?
Okay, the thing about classes, too, when you're having a child, is that they can give you all the information in the world, but when the child's actually here, all that goes out the window because your natural mother instincts take over and your parenting instincts take over. Okay. And you want to do and give everything that's best for that child. Okay, the reason why breastfeeding is much better than formula because it supplies the child all that nutrients that has been receiving all those 9 months that it's been in your body anyway. And then everything that you're consuming is being given to the child. The child is used to what it's receiving from you instead of this chemical, man-made basics of formulas put together to simulate our natural milk and what we're receiving from our bodies to give to the child. There's no way that it can emulate the ingredients that is coming from us in the first place.
So even the milk that says that, it has all the ingredients, it has all the nutrients, biotics, all the stuff. Because I know that they say, the little phlegm that comes out of that little white stuff, they tell you to give it to your child because that's what builds up your child's immune system. Immune system. So, the formulas, I know that my son, when my breast milk dropped, he's taking Nutrigen. That's a form of Enfamil.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to have all the builder box and all that stuff. So you're saying that those people just don't.
I'm going to say it like this. We have blood that courses through our veins, right? But if you go into a lab and try to simulate that blood, there's no way that you can get it to the exact thing that comes out of your veins.
Okay. That's an interesting way. I respect it.
Exactly.
So, all right. We know how many children you have. You have 4.
Yes.
Now I know I did research only because when I had my first son, I was so excited. I went through everything and I was just on the crazy thing. So my next question was, do you have any knowledge on like mental impairments as far as in children goes?
Well, nowadays without technology, they can always detect early in the womb that what the child will be born with. If it has Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, or any kind of birth defects now. Yeah. So a lot of times the child either gets terminated if the parent does not choose to go through such heartaches and the difficulties of raising a defective child. So, it's all on the individual of who's getting this child.
Okay, so do you agree with the parents that terminate their child because they they're going to be extremely difficult
Okay,
when they
who
come
am
up.
I to say that I agree with somebody that chooses to do something with their body?
No,
I can't. Me as a woman, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. So
no, what I'm saying is, people have. I know I have a strong opinion
Well,
about
of
abortion.
course, yeah.
So I know that everybody has some form of opinion about abortion.
of course,
I'm just saying, if you were to get pregnant, God forbid, and your child was detected to have an impairment, God forbid, would you terminate that child because you would think it'd be too difficult for that child to function, and it'd be too difficult for you to care for that child, or would you still have that child and say, to hell with everything, that's my child, and I'm gonna love that child regardless?
well, it's kind of hard for me to answer a question like that because I have 4 already, and there's no way in God's green earth that I will be having any more. But if said situation was to happen, I would have to look at all the pros and cons that are going on in my life and my personal dilemma and afflictions, and decide whether I will want to bring a child into this world with such difficulties.
Okay. Now, I know that when it comes to cognitive and speech and motor skills and stuff like that, that is not assessed until they're 2. It's called early intervention. I know because my son
Yes.
was assessed, and they said that he didn't qualify for early intervention. There was nothing wrong with him. He was at the level of his peers. Now, the following year when he went to school, they said that he wasn't at the level and he would need speech therapy, motor skills, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My question, I guess, to that is, what is your opinion basically about the decline between that year? Because I know that how
My personal opinion on that whole area right there is, who are these people that set these standards for these children? Because with all this research and technology that's going on, there are a lot of dominant genes that they're finding that's dormanted in us, that makes up our DNA, that they have no idea what they do. So because they don't know what they do, it's irrelevant. So because you don't understand that child, that means the child is slow, or the child is having difficulties learning at who said pace. It's not our fault that everybody tries to fit everything in this social media box. It does not work that way. It does not fit that way. Every child learns at their own speed and their own way of learning the material that we're giving to them. And I know you personally, you work with your child constantly. We all do that. But how is it that, we can't shove the information into their brain and tell them this is how it works, and they're supposed to know how it works? Mm-hmm. They have to be, a lot of these children now are hands-on.
Come on, Daddy, I found you.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these children now are hands-on, so they need to actually experiment and do it themselves to get it. So I don't play by society rules, first of all. So.
Okay. You have 3 girls.
Yes.
And you have 1 boy. Now, I know your son is only 2, but did your girls, like at 2, were your girls?
Each individual was exactly that, an individual. They were all different, and each generation, it seemed like they got smarter and wiser, and they all learned at a different pace. So I can't compare my oldest daughter to my son, because he was doing things that they were doing at later on down the line. So every generation, it really does change.
No, I only said that because that they say that girls develop faster than boys, and I say, being that you had 3 girls.
Well, that's a stereotype then.
Oh, okay.
That's a stereotype. Because he seems smarter than the oldest one sometimes at different times of the day, So it's
Okay.
very hard to tell.
Okay. Now, so now I know you said that you don't play by society rules and their standards and stuff like that, but to function in the school system and to not get an ACS case and to not get your children taken away. We do have to kind of send them to school, and they do have to be.
You have to play by certain rules to obtain certain things and to not get certain things taken away from you, such as your children. But in all actuality, you have to prepare your child for the social interaction of every day with the outer people, but you also have to teach your children, the inner values and the morals that people stopped teaching their kids a long time ago.
Okay. Now I was gonna say that where are parents supposed to get this information? I know we're jumping all over the place, but I'm gonna tie it together. Where are the parents supposed to get the information? Like, how they say that, all right, your child is 2, so he's supposed to be on level B. And then when your child turns 3, he's supposed to be on level C. So I want to know as a parent, because there are so many parents and books. I know there's Bob's books, Scholastic books, and I have them all.
Yes.
there's you
and
think
then you have internet, so.
And then you have ABC Mouse, so you think you can read, or Baby Can Read that my sister used. It's just so much stuff out there. So basically, but where are we supposed to get the information?
But this goes back to us, saying how each child is born as an individual and how the generations are seeming to speed up as we go along of having children. It seems like, different information for different generations. So that's why there is always doing research. There's always a bunch of different research of this and that, and like you said, all them different genres of
learning things
for them.
Yeah, because each child is different.
Exactly.
Some child may be a visual learner.
Exactly.
And some child may be, some child can hear you. Yeah. Basically hear it and know everything.
Exactly.
But then also there's
to tell you the truth, at this day and age with my 2-year-old, he's like the technology genius. He does things with my phone that has me looking like, well, I don't have to do that. And this all goes by them just watching us and like the visual and the hearing. He goes and he operates the TV better than some of the adults.
So basically, we are our child's first teacher. I knew.
That's the first and foremost thing. Before they even get out there to do the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s with the teacher, we have to teach them from the giddy up jump. And that goes with the babies can read stuff. Like if you sit and you read to your child from a young age, day after day after day, you're implementing the skills for them to love reading and love that subject already. So we're the first teachers.
Oh, ironically, I read to my son. He hates reading, but he loves math.
Yeah, but it also goes from the genes of the parents.
Because his father,
exactly.
His father loves math. I hate math, despise it, but reading I love. But I mean, this is all tied together as far as from the womb until they come out. How does a child function? Where does a child fit in? And how does the parent get the child prepared to go to school, to interact with their peers, to make sure that their child is on the same level as their peers so their child won't get held back. That's what this whole interview is about. Because I just had a talk with my son's kindergarten teacher who's saying that he's at risk of being left back in kindergarten because he's not basically...
It's so funny. You're not one of the first parents that I've heard say that. And the funny thing about it, all the parents that I've heard that's coming from kindergarten children are in charter schools. All of them. Every last one of them. And it goes to me like the curriculum that they're giving the students for kindergarten based students are not the curriculum that they need right away. Like they're trying to cram all the first grade knowledge into them early, so when they get to first grade they could cram the second grade into them, and it doesn't work like that. So of course they're not going to be on the level that they want to be in, because you cannot cram all that knowledge into them. They're like sponges. They can only absorb it so much, and if you're trying to give them too much, eventually they're going to get a point where they hit the and it's too early for them to hit that stage, and at their young age to be like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
It's
my son has, like I said, I got Scholastic levels A, B, C, and D. Now he did levels A and B, but his teachers now want him to do level C. He goes back to level B books. He forever grabbed a level B book, and he's like, "I'm gonna grab level C." He's like, "No, I can't do it."
It's not, the funny thing about it is not even that he can't do it. It's so much he probably just don't want to do it.
Yeah, he does.
Because he looks at it too like, all right, if I was to achieve this level C books, I know there's a level D. That means we're getting up there, we're getting harder. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do level C because, level B is where I want to be.
Yeah, just like his kindergarten teacher gave me a list of questions on Wednesday. This Wednesday that just passed, she was like that she wants us to recite these questions to the story that she gave to us, plus to other stories. That way, if he knows these questions, he can answer these questions fluently. He'd be able to pass the test coming this Monday. My question to her was, why would you wait until less than a week before to give me these supposed questions?
Exactly.
I just thought that was just a little bit, unfair. And
Of course.
I like my son's school. It's just that I like the fact that they push them, but they want a lot from them. Like they
expect
a lot. They want them to write sentences without our help, but they want it to be spelled right and capitalized, period, commas, all the other. And it's like they're kindergarten. They just learn how to write.
Being that I have 4 kids, my first 2 I enrolled them in charter school, and to me, it's like I took all the fun out of school. Because I remember when I used to go to school, there were plays, there were auditorium events, there were certain trips it was all educational based, but there were certain trips that was just fun while they were learning. And with charter school, it's none of that. It's none of that at all. So when my 5-year-old, I put her in a public school. And then I just recently learned that there are 2 different types of charter schools. There's a public charter school, and there's the non-public charter school. That's the one that your son goes to. And the public one follows the everyday public school schedules and everything, and the non follows their own set
private
schedule. But they kind of take out more of they are sucking like the soul out of school.
Like Harlem Children's Zone, they don't have a summer vacation. Harlem Children's School all year round.
Yeah,
and I never understood. And I always ask my coworker that. I said, your son's school's all year round. I said, I like school, and I like the fact that charter schools expect so much, because that means that my son is being pushed beyond his limits, pushed beyond things that he thought. Like he think he's
a certain point.
I know, but I think we know that he's capable of reaching part C,
of course,
part C, but he's stopping at part B. But we know he can reach part C, so we're pushing him to reach part C.
All goes back to the individual too. They're smarter sometimes than we really give them credit for, because in his mind, he's like, listen, I know my ABCs. Why should I go to C? Because I know D is coming. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give you the benefit of doubt of knowing that I can do that, so you can just go on with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play dumb.
I know. And he's done that. He's done that when I know his aunt when he picked him from school. She asked him what did he learn in school today. He didn't tell her. She turned right around, went back to the school, and asked the teacher what did he learn in school today. The teacher asked him. He told her everything he learned in school today, from the time he walked in this morning to the time he left that afternoon. And it's almost like, why couldn't you just tell me? And it just goes to show you how they're different in different environments as well.
Because there's another thing, they also are kind of observing like adults are, and they know what adult they can do this with, and they know what adult they can get away with this with. So it all goes back to that individual personality. They all are individual personalities. You could shape them and mold them to how you want them to be, but if that's not what they want to do, that's not what's gonna happen. Point blank.
Well, I'm trying to combat this being left behind thing in kindergarten with my child, and I'm glad that I'm not. Well, I'm not glad that I'm not the only one experiencing it. I'm just kind of elated that it's not just because I thought that maybe it had something to do with the services he's receiving, like his speech, his occupational, and his physical.
No, it's not with
so,
that. It's about the
I know because they asked me, they give him black and white books and then ask him what time of the day it is. So I'm like, how do you ask him what time of the day it is if you give him a black and white book? There's no color. So how's he supposed to differentiate
Yeah, that's
between morning and night if it's a black or white book? There's no color.
Because that's how they're giving it to them. They want it black or white. This is how this is, and this is how you're gonna do it.
There's no way that I can tell green from red if it's black and white. You get what I'm saying? There's no way. And then they give me stories, but the stories are photocopied, so it's black and white. But the stories in the classroom have color. So I don't understand. Just like she asked me a question, she told me it was a story about a teddy bear. How is a teddy bear different from teddy bears in the zoo? They wanted my child to say that the bear in the zoo is real, the teddy bear is a bear. To me, you get what I'm saying? How is that?
Yeah.
How is that? Come on.
Well, that goes back to what they're trying to teach them. Like, what they trying to teach them is not what we're trying to teach them. It's what they want them to learn and how they want them to learn it. So that's how they're going to give it to them. They keep forcing these kids to learn curriculums that really has nothing to do with what they actually need in life. Mm-hmm. Of course, they're going to need the skills to read and math and all the other subjects that they have. But I noticed a lot of subjects too have been like watered down and cut back, like science and language arts.